Hello, everyone. You are listening to the C Squared podcast with Corey and Curtis. Today, our special guest is Miss Galina Rin. She is from the band Death Ingloria, and she is here to talk to us about all sorts of fun topics. We're going to be covering Twitch, which I know a lot of you are curious about how to get going on that. So, first, I do want to say thank you for joining us today. We're super happy to have you.
Hi. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and for people who may not be familiar with you, familiar with your music, all the stuff you've got going on, do you want to give just like a brief breakdown, the nutshell version of who Galina Rin is?
Yep, I am the one human that runs Death and Gloria. What's a rock band that does comic art, animation, and rock music. I've just added a couple of session musicians, and I've got a new album coming out in August, and we are now a full band. Yeah, that's it, really.
Well, it? what about your Twitch history?
So it's weird, right? So at the beginning of lockdown, I worked in events. I worked in live events. I managed nightclubs. I stage managed and hosted the biggest goth fetish club in Europe. I worked for the largest fetish club in the world. And when lockdown happened, all of that ended. And the next day, I started live streaming. And I live stream on Twitch. I can live stream on Instagram, YouTube, all the rest. My problem is that I don't know how to market myself, which is why I've got into contact with you guys. Because I'm terrible at building my own audience, but I earn 100% of my money from live streaming now. Live streaming and things connected to live streaming, because that's what people employ me to do, is be a live stream production manager. So I've basically used my band's live streaming channels to make all the mistakes so my clients don't have to do that, if that makes sense. So everything goes a little bit astray. No, what's the word? Awry. There we go. Things go awry on my streams, and then when my clients go, okay, we want a live stream, and then nothing goes wrong on theirs, because I burn every bridge going as I go through my own stuff. So I have quite large clients. I work for the London Met Archive, which is the official archivist of everything that's City of London based. I work for the Migration Museum and stuff like that as well.
Cool. So now let's talk for a second here about Twitch. So, I mean, you say you're not that great at it, but I know you do really well at it. I mean, I've been on your show before, and you do a good job. You do a great job, in fact. So now let's just talk about it for a second. So what is the basic stuff you would need to get into Twitch streaming as a musician? Basic.
Basic. I think it's like it's same as doing anything. You just need a good idea for content, I think. Fair. It doesn't really matter the quality on Twitch, because there's a difference between YouTube and Twitch. And YouTube has far higher production values. Stuff's recorded. They are doing live streaming on YouTube now, but everything has to be nice lights and nice cameras and stuff. But Twitch can be anything. I can't even tell you what will work best on Twitch, because if you're mad and crazy, or you're just a really good musician, whatever it is, there's a chance it'll probably work on Twitch. So for an example, there's a guy called Toasty, and all he is a piece of toast with some eyes and a human mouth, and he makes fart noises for 3 hours straight. It's mad, and he's got thousands and thousands of followers.
Really?
Yeah, but there's another guy called Scene of Action who I follow, and he is a one-man band, and he has his own studio space, and he's got all the lights, and I think he was like a backline tech for Metallica at some point, and he's really worth looking at, and he does everything really well. So both of those things work on Twitch, because Twitch is just the playground for anything that's good or crazy or creative or whatever.
But the main thing that most people use Twitch for, and I know it's not the only thing, is for playing games and streaming games, right?
Yeah. It's mostly been created by the gaming lot for great gamers for doing stuff. But if you draw or you paint or you do anything, there's a space for you on Twitch. It's really quite bigger than gaming now.
Okay, so now let's say, because I know you've done gaming streams in the past. I don't know if you're still doing them, but I know I have seen you do gaming streams. So what would be the basic things that you need in order to be able to do that? Like, because I always get the idea you need like some super powered computer. I don't know if that's true or not.
You don't need a super powered computer, but you do need a computer with a graphics card. So Macs
Yeah.
tend not to be very good.
Yeah.
I mean, I use Macs. But I use two Macs to do the work of one PC. You know,
Yeah.
so having a separate graphics card is really key when live streaming. But you can get away with a bit of a potato, as they call it,
Yeah.
off a computer. So yeah, you just have to upgrade yourself as you go along. But just start off. I mean, you can do Twitch from your phone. You can stream
Oh,
from your phone on Twitch. You can't. I don't think you can game
okay.
easily. You probably can hack around it, but you can definitely stream yourself as a musician from your phone onto Twitch if you wanted to,
Fair enough.
if it lent to it.
So okay, so now so can you kind of go over about the concept of the show that you have with Etienne about how that came about and the idea behind it?
Etienne's not our co-host anymore.
Well, when
He doesn't.
he was, I know when he was.
Yeah. So it was only because it's 8 o'clock in the UK and it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon to him, so it was
Yeah.
bad timing.
Yeah.
So we do sci-fi hi-fi, which basically we've turned into a debate show where we try and ask a question about something to do with sci-fi. So we've had what is sci-fi, what makes a good sci-fi story, is sci-fi cult or culture, and then last week we had a battle royale between franchises. So we had Blade Runner go up against Mad Max, and then Star Trek against oh, it's just gonna an anime. I can't remember the name of it now. It's just gone right in my head. And then the audience had to vote against in 2 rounds, and then the two that went up against each other was Blade Runner and Star Trek. And Star Trek won, but I think the argument for Blade Runner was a lot better. It's just that we argued that Blade Runner wasn't really a franchise, and Star Trek earns more money, so essentially they won.
Because it all comes down to the dollars, right?
Yeah,
Or in
that's
your
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So
no
That's-
we ask a question and then we battle it out basically. Yeah.
let me ask you this. So okay, so how do you kind of figure out what the questions are going to be for the show then? You just kind of whatever.
No.
Oh,
We ask the guest
mhm.
what is it that will get them going? What is it they're passionate about? And then because we can I mean basically I do all the tech and I do the management of the stream,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then my co-host Riamu, he's the arguer and he could argue the sky's black, blue, yellow, whatever takes his fancy on a certain day. So he gets into it. But I have like a little like host of guys I can now bring in, you know, to argue different points. So we're gonna be doing a Marvel off. We're
Wow.
gonna do like one that's all Marvel based, but we're not really into Marvel in our household. So Matt from Macho Grande podcast is gonna come on and duke it out with an actor friend of mine who's gonna argue about which is the best Marvel character and things like that.
Cool.
So you need to like I'm getting to a point where I'm bringing people together to create a show rather than just going with what one person says, if that makes sense.
So in regards to like music, I know that like Etienne uses this as a way to kind of connect with his fans, even though the things that he's streaming aren't necessarily like his music or anything like that. But do you think that Twitch is valuable for that, to connect with your fan communities in their other interests? So obviously his fans have a big sci-fi interest, so it would make sense for a band like that to do that.
Um Yes. I mean, if you're into anything, you can get your fans involved. Like, obviously, my band's sci-fi based, so us arguing about sci-fi is very relevant. And like everyone who bought the pre-sale of my album comes off that is on that sci-fi show. They all come every Wednesday to hang out. So, um, but you can pick anything that your band's into. I mean, if you've got someone who cooks, get them on Twitch cooking. You know, do a stupid cooking show or something. You know, whatever.
Cooking show, interesting. Fine.
Yeah, the vegan death metal chef. That guy should be on Twitch.
Oh,
I'm sure he is. He's probably in
okay.
there anyway.
I forgot about. Okay, so now quick question, just kind of a sort of follow up on this. So just about the sci-fi aspects of your music. Does it have to be sci-fi in order for you for it to be part of the Death and Gloria project, or does it not really fucking matter?
Yeah. Yes, that's our basis. So it's
Yeah.
basically rock music, sci-fi comic,
Yeah.
and animation. So that's our tagline. That's what we do. It does exactly what it says on the tin, essentially. And we tell inglorious story. No, we tell stories about the inglorious ways that humanity can destroy itself. So at the end of every story, humanity dies out completely. That's it. That's the whole premise.
When you
Every single story.
just the way you said it was just like so nonchalant. Everybody dies. Um,
Everybody dies, babes. Everyone's gonna die anyway, so I'm just gonna kill them off fast.
it was just funny the way you put it. Okay, so explain the concept then, because you're quite the positive person, but that's quite the statement for somebody that is as bubbly as you are and effusive.
All of this is a shell. I'm not really
Okay,
bubbly or at all. This is a uniform I'm putting on for you. No, I don't know. It's like if you're allowed to put out your creative output in the way you want to, then your life's all right. If you have to bottle up yourself behind a suit and go to an office that you hate and work with idiots all day, then you're going to be a miserable butthead and you're going to be angry at the world. And I was when I worked as a civil servant for 10 years. I managed the diaries of judges and magistrates across London's family courts, and I was bloody miserable.
mhm.
Ah! And the whole thing spurred the story for the second album, which is Death by Admin. And that's all about people that I worked with in that office. So there you go. But I'm
That now
happy now. I'm out. I'm out. Yay.
that explains a couple of things. Now, I was kind of going to ask. I was going to actually ask you about the title, but now that actually adds up. So, okay, so the promotion of the album, and I mean, I know you're working with us now, so it might probably going to change slightly, I would imagine. But when you started off the promotion of the album, how are you kind of billing it? Because comic book plus music is kind of a niche audience. You know what I mean?
Yes. That's all I've got. That's all I've got.
That's all.
There's nothing sexy about this whole setup. I'm not like I'm a woman, but I don't woman well. I don't wear a lot of makeup. I'm not gonna. I'm also past the age of like trying to look older than I am or whatever, shall we say? So that's not going to sell anything. So what's going to sell? I don't know. Let's just write a comic book and do everything around that and not show my face too much. Nobody needs to see it. I put it on Instagram because I have to, and that's about it.
She sounds like me. Ain't nobody want to see
Nobody wants
Nobody cared.
to fucking promote myself just because I fucking have to. So you came up with the concept for the comic book, correct, Lena?
Yeah, yes, it's all me. It's all me. I have session musicians and I work with people to make music now. But I don't draw the comic because I'm not that talented. But the whole concept and all the songs and stories are all mine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what comes first then? Is the comic book or the lyrics, or I guess maybe it's kind of like a combo at the same time?
It's a bit of both because I have a huge back catalogue of songs. I've been trying to start a band for like, a long time. I mean, decades. And I went through 5 bass players and 12 drummers to decide
Holy
that I just had to do it my own, just had to do it my own. So the whole first album's just me. I'm the only person that played any of the shows. I have elaborate technology behind me to make it sound like I'm a full live band when it was just me.
yeah,
So yeah, all of that was just me. So I have these songs and I have ideas about how those stories would come together. But then you create the story, and you're like, oh, I need a different song. I don't have something in my back catalog to fill that gap. So then
yeah,
I write a song for it. But I don't like to write songs that are specifically about the thing that's in the story, rather than it touches around it, but it's actually
yeah,
about other stuff. So every song can be taken on its own. You can listen to the album and never deal with the stories and just
yeah.
enjoy an album music, or you can deep dive into the whole thing. And the first album, The Wolf on Board, is a 7-page comic book, 7 songs, 7 promo photographs, and only if you see all of those things would you get the whole story.
Interesting. I
But
did not.
no one ever does. I've got
Yeah,
some people who own that package, and I don't think they know what the story is anyway, or have deep dived into it that much. Maybe they
interesting.
have. I don't know. But I'm just
Uh,
gonna make another one anyway, so that's fine.
Sure. Okay, so now you just kind of mentioned that you kind of feel like most people aren't checking the whole package out. So what is your motive for doing this? Because there's a lot of care that goes into it. Just you like
I,
it? What?
no, I have to. I have to. This is what I have to do. I have to do
Fair,
it. I
fair,
can't do anything else. That's just it.
fair.
So I did all those things on the first album, and
Yeah.
then I knew I knew nobody paid attention to all of it, and that's
Mhm.
fine. So when the second one came, I was like, I'll just do that again. I'll just make a massive package, but this time I'm not going to try and sell the massive package, right? So
Mhm.
there is going to be animation, and I don't know how long it's going to be, which animates the entire comic of the
Wow.
second album, the entire comic. So it's 12 different pages of animation of comic I'm going to animate. The only way anyone will see that entire thing is if they buy the album, which comes on an ID card. So it doesn't come on CD, it doesn't come on vinyl or record or cassette, or I did a USB on the last one. It comes on ID card, which is the
Mhm.
same as the album cover, and you have to scan that QR code on your album ID card, and that gets you into a members only section of the website, and that's where that full animation will be. And only people who get that far will see it. Otherwise, you see the music videos and you see all the little snippets and whatever, and it's just a band with some music videos, but you have to want to get involved in it this time.
That's really cool. I mean, you have a really, really cool concept. The only thing is like we got to get people to dive deep into it. Like, can you explain like the kind of thought of doing a coloring book? You did a coloring book, didn't you?
Yes, I do. We did it this time. Why did we do a coloring book?
Yeah.
Mostly because we can.
Okay.
Because we can. It's an easy win. It's an easy win. And that's about it. We've
Okay.
got a comic book anyway.
But is
Um, People want it, and people have actually that's a thing that's sold in our pre-sale. Is
really
this physical bundle? Yeah. Like
interesting.
nobody's buying the album on its own. A couple people, I mean, a couple who have, but the majority of people are buying that physical bundle with the comic book. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. And can you kind of explain what the coloring book is? Like, is it like the comic and you're just coloring it in, or what the heck is that? I haven't actually seen it, I don't think. So I'm curious.
Well, no one's really seen it past the promo photo that we've done. So
Yeah.
basically, it is exactly the same as the comic book, except it's
Okay.
been doubled. It's in A4, but each page is half of the comic page. So it's as if the comic is an A3, I
Yeah.
guess,
I think I
just
know.
so there's more space to color, basically.
Yeah. No, I get it. Okay. And then what other type? Yeah. What other items are in the pre-sale bundle again? So it's the admin card.
So it's the ID card,
Or, sorry.
um, ID card, the comic book, and a signed copy of the actual comic book, and then all the other little bits that we'll throw in there, which is like stickers and badges and all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
I'm going to change one of the bundles to also have the tickets for the live listening party, which happens on the 30th of July.
Right.
Because it's also a live stream. So if you buy the bundle, you may as well get a ticket to the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, whether you're in London or not.
Yep.
And then on the VIP package, this is where it gets really interesting.
Mhm.
You get all of the physical stuff.
Yep.
You get your ticket to the live stream show, you get to be in person with us in London, but you also get the opportunity to have your own image and name put on your ID card. So,
Nice.
like, our illustrator will illustrate your face or whatever you want, and then that goes on the ID card, and it's your printed special one. And you're drawn as a character from within this comic. So you're done in the same style as this. And because we then have your image, you will be drawn into number 3, the third comic. You will be
Nice.
drawn into Death and Gloria. And I think there's going to be like 3 main characters in the next comic. So
Mhm.
someone out of that pile of people's images that we have will end up being the main characters as well. But everyone gets in the comic. Only 3 people will be main characters. And then, if that wasn't enough, you also get a bottle of our hot sauce. Oh yeah,
And hot
use it.
sauce.
Yeah,
Oh,
use it as a weapon. is a hot sauce that we are doing with Rockadoodle Doo Belfast, and they make hot sauce for Snow Patrol, and they're currently in discussion with making a hot sauce for a very large metal band, which we cannot name because they're in discussions. But they make hot sauce for Snow Patrol. So there you go. They're making a special hot sauce for us. Amazing.
Or do you have any follow-up questions for Galina?
No, I think that covers a lot.
It does. Especially the bundling stuff, I think is a really cool that you did. If anybody wants to check out the bundles that you did, you got to go to deathingloria.bandcamp.com, right, to see it?
You can just go to the website. Why not just go to the website? There's no commission on the website. Go to the website, deathandgloria.com.
Okay, deathandgloria.com, and you can take a look at everything. Pre-order the bundle there. It's really cool by the sounds of it. Everything I've seen so far that she's put out has been high quality. The music is fucking awesome. Galina is a really good singer, and the songs are fucking fantastic. So if you want to check it out, deathandgloria.com, and then what's your Twitter handle? Same?
Death_Ingloria, because I'm a bit old school. That's what you did back when I set it up.
Fair enough. Follow her on Twitter. She's trying to get more into Twitter, and she will talk back to you because she's an awesome person and she likes to talk to people.
Yeah, I'll talk to anybody. I'll play the opening of an envelope. I don't care. Yeah, book me, book us, book us.
You're hilarious. Okay, with that, we're gonna wrap up. Party on, Corey.
Party on, guys.